Hello, myself, I am Jinsad Sakkeer. I am a software engineer with a bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering, and currently pursuing my master's degree in the same field. With a strong foundation in computer science, I have gained valuable experience in full stack development through my previous work experience. In addition to my development skills, I also have a keen interest in machine learning and have developed proficiency in this field. Today, I am going to say about application of machine learning in drug discovery. Content, introduction, machine learning, drug discovery process, machine learning in drug development, dataset. Let's see it as detailed in the coming slides. Why? Machine learning is a rapidly growing field with a wide range of applications from healthcare and finance to image and speech recognition. Learning machine learning can help individuals gain a competitive advantage in their careers. Machine learning is a powerful tool for innovation and problem solving. Machine learning is a field that is constantly evolving, offering endless opportunities for growth and development. Machine learning involves the use of algorithms and statistical models to enable computer systems to improve their performance on a specific task by learning from data without being explicitly programmed. The applications of machine learning are vast and diverse, ranging from detecting fraudulent transactions in finance to diagnosing diseases in healthcare and from recognizing faces in images to transcribing speech in natural language processing. As data continues to grow exponentially and new technological advancements are made, the scope of machine learning will only continue to expand. In today's competitive job market, having knowledge and skills in machine learning can provide a significant advantage. Employees across various industries are increasingly looking for candidates with experience in data analysis and machine to help them derive insights and make driven decisions. What? Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence that involves the development of algorithms that enable computers to learn from data. Machine learning is based on the idea that machines can learn from experience much like humans. Machine learning is used in a wide range of applications, including image and speech recognition, natural language processing, and predictive analytics. Machine learning requires large amount of data, powerful computing resources, and expertise in data science and statistics. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that deals with the development of algorithms and statistical models that allows computer systems to learn from data without being explicitly programmed. In machine learning, computers learn to identify patterns and relationships within the data, which can be used to make predictions or perform specific tasks. The central idea behind machine learning is that the computers can learn from experience and data, just like humans do. Machine learning algorithms can identify patterns and relationships within the data and learn to make predictions or perform specific tasks based on this knowledge. Machine learning systems can improve over time as they are exposed to more data, making them more accurate and efficient. Machine learning is used in a variety of applications in different fields, such as healthcare, finance, retail, and manufacturing. For example, machine learning algorithms are used in image and speech recognition to identify objects in images or transcribe speech into text. In natural language processing, machine learning is used to analyze and understand human languages. Predictive analytics is another popular application of machine learning, which involves using historical data to make predictions about future events. There are three main types of machine learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Supervised learning is used for tasks such as classification and regression, while unsupervised learning is used for tasks such as clustering and dimension reduction. Reinforcement learning is used for tasks such as gameplay, robotics, and optimization. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning that involves the use of neural networks to analyze and interpret complex data. Suppressed learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning are the three main types of machine learning. In suppressed learning, the algorithm is trained using labeled data, where the correct output is provided for each input. In unsupervised learning, the algorithm is trained on unlabeled data, where the algorithm must identify patterns and relationships within the data. Reinforcement learning involves the use of rewards or punishment to train an algorithm to make decisions based on the trial and error. Suppressed learning is used when the algorithm is given labeled data to learn from and is used to perform tasks such as classification and regression. Classification involves identifying which category or group an input belongs to, while regression involves predicting a numerical value based on the input data. Unsupervised learning is used for tasks such as clustering, where the algorithm must group similar data points together, and dimensionality reduction, where the algorithm must reduce the complexity of the input data while preserving important features. Popular algorithms. There are many algorithms used in machine learning, including linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, random forests, and neural networks. You can see the diagram in the right side. Support vector machines are a popular algorithm for classification and are used in image recognition and text classification and other applications. K-nearest neighbors is a simple but powerful algorithm used for classification and regression tasks. Clustering algorithms such as K-means and hierarchical clustering are used to group similar data points together. Machine learning algorithms are tools that enable computers to learn patterns and relational data. Some common algorithms used in machine learning include linear regression and the settings. Stages of ML. Machine learning involves several stages, including data collection and data preparation, model training, model evaluation, and model deployment. Model training is a stage where a machine learning algorithm is used to learn patterns in the data and make predictions. Model evaluation is the stage where the performance of the model is measured and compared to other models. Model deployment is the final stage where the model is deployed into a production environment. Machine learning is an iterative process and the stages may need to be revisited to improve the model performance. Drug development process. Target discovery. The process of identifying a biological target that plays a role in disease and could potentially targeted by a drug. Target validation phase. The process of confirming that the identified target is valid and that it has a role in the disease being targeted. Lead discovery. The process of identifying molecules that have the potential to bind to the target and modify its function. In vitro study, the process of testing the lead compounds in a laboratory setting to assess their activity and potential toxicity. We can see the stages in the right side: drug discovery, preclinical phase, clinical development, and phase 4. Actually, target discovery is the initial step in the drug discovery process, where the aim is to identify a specific biological target that is involved in a disease. This target can be protein, receptor, an enzyme, or any other molecule that plays a role in the disease. The process of target discovery often involves a combination of genetics, genomics, and other molecular biology techniques. Target validation phase means once a target has been identified, it is essential to validate that it plays a role in the disease being targeted. The target validation phase involves confirming the target's involvement in the disease through a series of experiments, including genetic and pharmacological approaches. The aim is to ensure that the target is both biologically and clinically relevant. Then lead discovery. Lead discovery means once a target has been validated, The next step is to identify small molecules or compounds that can bind to the target and modify its function. Lead discovery is the process of identifying such molecules that have the potential to become a drug. The lead molecules are usually identified through high throughput screening of large chemical libraries, computer-aided drug design, or combination of both approaches. In vitro study, what happens is after the lead molecules have been identified, they are tested in a laboratory setting to assess their activity and potential toxicity. In vitro studies involve testing the lead compounds in isolated cells or tissue samples outside of a living organism. This allows researchers to assess the potential efficacy of the lead compounds and to identify any potential safety concerns before moving to animal testing. In vitro studies are an essential step in the drug discovery process and help to filter out compounds that are unlikely to be effective or safe for human use. Drug discovery process remains. In vivo study, the process of testing the lead compounds in animal models to assess their safety and efficacy. Clinical trial. The process of testing lead compound in humans to assess its safety and efficacy. Manufacturing stage. The process of scaling up production of the drug to prepare for commercialization. Commercialization. The process of bringing the drug to market and making it available to patients. In vivo study, what happens is once the lead compounds have passed the in vitro studies, the next step is to test them in animal models to assess their safety and efficacy. In vivo studies involve administering the lead compounds to elements to evaluate their toxicity and efficacy. Animal studies provide valuable information on the drug's behavior in a living organism, helping researchers to determine safe doses, the best route of administration, and potential side effects. In clinical trials are the final and most critical step in the drug discovery process, where the lead compound is tested in humans to assess its safety and efficacy. Clinical trials involve several phases, starting with a small group of healthy volunteers and progressing to large group of patients with the disease being targeted. The aim is to determine the optimal dose, the drug's effectiveness, and any potential side effects. In manufacturing stage, once the drug has passed the clinical trials and has been approved for use by regulatory agencies, the next step is to scale up production to prepare for commercialization. The manufacturing stage involves developing a process for producing the drug at large volumes while maintaining consistent quality standards. This often involves collaboration with contract manufacturers and regulatory agencies to ensure compliance with regulatory guidelines. And last, the process of commercialization is the process of bringing the drug to market and making it available to patients. This involves marketing and distribution activities, including developing marketing strategies, obtaining regulatory approvals, and negotiating with payers and insurers. The aim is to ensure that the drug is available to patients who need it while generating sufficient revenue to support ongoing research and development activities. It is a critical phase in the drug discovery process and requires collaboration between multiple stakeholders, including researchers, regulators, payers, and patient advocacy groups. Machine learning in drug development. Drug discovery. Identification of novel drug targets. Machine learning algorithms can analyze complex biological data to identify novel targets for drug development. For example, deep learning algorithms have been used to predict protein ligand binding affinity and identify potential drug targets. Generation of novel molecules. Machine learning models can generate novel molecules with desired properties, such as high potency and low toxicity. For example, generative adversarial networks have been used to generate new molecules with activity against specific targets. Drug testing. Predicting the toxicity. Machine learning algorithms can predict potential toxicities of drugs using large datasets of chemical and biological information. For example, random forest models have been used to predict the hepatotoxicity of drugs. Identifying drug efficacy. Machine learning models can predict the efficacy of drugs in specific patient populations based on genetic and clinical data. For example, support vector missions have been used to predict drug response in cancer patients. Drug repurposing. Identify new uses for assisting drugs. Machine learning models can analyze large datasets to identify potential new uses for assisted drugs. For example, text mining algorithms have been used to identify potential drug disease associations based on scientific literature. Predicting drug combinations. Machine learning model can predict the efficacy of drug combinations based on their individual properties and mechanism of actions. For example, deep reinforcement learning algorithms have been used to identify drug combinations for cancer treatment. These are the datasets. Genomic data provides information on genetic variations that affect drug metabolism, efficacy, and toxicity. Machine learning can analyze genomic data to identify potential drug targets, predict drug response, and design personalized drug regimens. Clinical trial data provides information on safety and efficacy of drugs in the specific patient populations. Machine learning can analyze clinical trial data to identify factors affecting drug response, predict trial outcomes, and optimize trial design. Chemical data provides information on drug properties and interactions with biological molecules. Machine learning can analyze chemical data to identify potential drug candidates, predict drug toxicity and efficacy, and design new molecules with desired properties. Electronic health records. This provides information on patient health status, medical history, and treatment outcomes. Machine learning can analyze EHR data to identify patient subpopulations that respond better to specific drugs, predict adverse drug reactions, and optimize drug regimens for specific patient populations. Scientific literature provides information on drug targets, mechanism of actions, and disease pathways. Machine learning can analyze scientific literature to identify potential drug targets, predict drug efficacy and toxicity, and design new molecules with desired properties. What genomic data means? Genomic data is the information obtained from studying an individual's DNA sequence, which can provide insight into genetic variations that affect drug metabolism, efficacy, and toxicity. Machine learning can analyze genomic data to identify potential drug targets, predict drug response, and design personalized drug regimens. For example, machine learning algorithms can analyze genomic data to identify genetic mutations that could contribute to a patient's disease and predict which drugs might be effective in treating it. The clinical trial data means clinical trial data provides information on the safety and efficacy of the drugs in specific patient populations. Machine learning can analyze clinical trial data to identify factors affecting drug response, predict trial outcomes, and optimize trial design. For example, machine learning algorithms can analyze clinical trial data to identify patient subpopulations that respond better to a specific drug and adjust dosage or treatment regimen accordingly. Chemical data. Chemical data provides information on drug properties and interactions with biological molecules. Machine learning can analyze chemical data to identify potential drug candidates, spread drug toxicity and efficacy, and design new molecules with desired properties. For example, machine learning algorithms can analyze chemical structures to identify potential drug targets and predict how a drug might interact with biological molecules. Next is electronic health records. This means that electronic health records contain information on a patient's health status, medical history, and treatment outcomes. Machine learning can analyze EHR data to identify patient subpopulations that respond better to the specific drugs, predict adverse drugs reactions, and optimize drug regimens for specific patient populations. For example, machine learning algorithms can analyze EHR data to identify patient characteristics that may be associated with a higher risk of adverse drug reactions. The final is scientific literature. The scientific literature means provides information on drug targets, mechanism of action, and disease pathways. Machine learning analyze scientific literature to identify potential drug targets, predict drug efficacy and toxicity, and design new molecules with desired properties. For example, machine learning algorithms can analyze large volumes of scientific literature to identify potential drug targets and predict which drugs may be effective in treating specific diseases.